Be right with you. There we go. Might be able to see, I got the first batch of ribs in there. And the lever set to the back, not forward, to build pressure. And that is about to pop up. And basically I just hit the pressure button and it defaulted to high pressure and 30. And if you let it be for so many seconds, it'll start the process. This has been going for a little bit, but I expect that to pop in a minute. And then the cooking process will begin. And now that you're good and dizzy, let me plug the power back in here. Last thing we want is a dead battery during recording. There we go. Just prepping my ribs right now. I'm not a rib professional here, folks. The BJ's ribs, hot luck, sometimes they don't have that membrane on top. One of these, I have a total of 4 slabs of St. Louis ribs. And on the first one, I think the first 2 slabs that were in the package, there was, I think there was some. But this one, this piece does have it. So I'm gonna first get it started here. It's also a secondary membrane that you do not want to remove. That holds everything together. All right, so now that I got that, I just slid the butter knife underneath. Some people will say, get a napkin, it'll help you get a grip. I am not doing that. It almost feels like it's taking some of the meat off the bones, but once I get this started here, that's when people will tell you grab a paper towel, because that will help with gripping. And I think we're pretty good to go. Some people, well, the pros will always tell you to remove the membrane. Some people don't bother. But from what I hear, leaving that membrane on it keeps it from getting, I don't know, tenderized, I guess. There we go. Like I said, not much of that membrane on here, so I'm not too worried about it. All right. So next I'm going to cut these in half because I am going to pressure cook the first big. So that's about half right there. So I'm going to follow that up. Cut this in half here. And these are keto, folks. Well, the way I'm going to make them, they're keto. I'm going to make one non-keto, but I'm not going to use a barbecue rub on it. I'm going to just use the same rub that I use for the keto ones. And what that'll allow is I'll prep one with barbecue sauce. Making these for the gathering today. Hey, good morning, Kirby. How are you? You've probably seen me do these before, Kirby, I'm sure. Everyone, this is Kirby. If you have not visited his channel, hop on over and visit. All right, so I got my 4 half slabs here. It was 2 slabs in one package. You're not going to believe where I am right now. Texas doing a barbecue. That's awesome. Good for you, Kirby. I saw something about it, your first trip or something like that you had posted. So I do have barbecue rub that I would normally use. It's up in the cabinet here, but since these are for keto, I'm just making my own simplified, keto friendly, equal parts salt, pink Himalayan salt, fresh ground pepper, and garlic powder, or garlic, granulated garlic. And I did 4 tablespoons of each, so about a quarter cup of each. But really, I kind of got away with 2 of each for the 4 slabs in total. I just did it this way because I figured, you know, when I'm cooking chicken or whatever, I always put this combination. It's going to be quick and easy to just grab some of this. And the pressure cooker's got pressure, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of this on here. It makes it easier for me to do this. Rub it in with my other hand so I'm not contaminating the mix. Actually, I could put some on here too. Might look like a lot, but on the pressure cooker, a lot of the spices tend to roll off. All right, so let's turn these upside down. Of course, I just contaminated doing that, hitting the side. I forget who you were collaborating with up there, Kirby. If you want to throw a shout out, go right ahead. All right, so that's the second one. This is done. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to spice up this side. It's probably, there's quite a bit here, but there's going to be a few recipes here for the sauce. There's going to be a wing sauce on one, honey barbecue on another, and I'm leaving the other ones plain so people can do as they please. If they don't want any sauce or they want a different type of sauce, we'll have that ready for today's Sunday dinner. Forgot if I flipped this yet. Yep, I gotta flip it. I'm gonna coat it. I should get a separate salt and pepper shaker and put this stuff in it, and that way I could just rub it on. Okay, so this is done. I'm actually gonna sit this in the stove. The stove is not on because I got another set of ribs cooking. Ribs in the pressure cooker. How to cook fast. How long we've been cooking them. So what I found was for a single slab of baby back ribs, I do 18 minutes. So it probably takes 10, 15 minutes to come up to pressure. It cooks for 18. Then I do a 10-minute natural release. And then after 10 minutes, I'll open the valve. Some people will let it completely depressurize or go to 15 minutes and release pressure. And then I, put them in the broiler with the sauce to get all that nice caramelization going. So to recap, and I could fit 2 full racks in the pressure cooker. Now, let me wash my hands so I can point it out. So with the baby backs, I typically do 1 rack, and I'll do 1.5 cups of water, because that'll bring you just to the bottom of the trivet. So I sit one here, or if it's flexible enough, you can go one around and cook it that way. When I do 2 full racks, I put 2 like this and 2 like this, and I only put 1 cup. And I started doing that because there's so much moisture in the ribs that the pressure cooker fills up halfway with moisture. So I put only a cup in there, just enough so that it doesn't burn and that the moisture builds up and so forth. Ow, just hit my knee, my ankle, that hurt. Okay, I am gonna close up my spices here. Nice. So we got Chef Johnny's house from Texas Barbecue. I'm eating T. Roy Cooks. James, yeah, James I'm familiar with. Clean Smokers. AB. My main visit was the restaurant visits. That's pretty cool. Not much of a traveler, Kirby. Work will send me to Paris and Dublin, and I'm not a big fan of traveling in tight spaces in general. As I said in the movie Airplane, it's like a big Tylenol capsule with wings, just so constricted. I need to constantly move around. I can't feel constricted. That's pretty awesome, though. Good for you. Remember, folks, if you don't know who Kirby is, right-click on his name there, and you could say Open Profile, a new tab, and you can See what Kirby's up to. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, let's find myself a big patty. Ah, I know where it is. Okay, next step. I am going to don't do what I'm doing, folks. Do not put this on top of your glass top stove, because you're asking for trouble if you do that. So actually, what I want to do is turn this around. If this thing lands hard, it will crack your top. All my parchment rounds just flew out of the package on the countertop, luckily not on the floor. Got some of my fathead dough here. I'm gonna just nuke it a little bit just to get it a little soft, otherwise it'll be really hard to work with. I'm gonna get the what do we call it here? We're gonna get the Breville ready to just cook the bread. Fathead dough here. I got some new types of sausages today. I'm hoping those come out nice. Some new breakfast link sausages from Gianelli. Last time there were the sweet Italian versions. This time I decided to go with a more traditional type. Alright, I think last time I did about 2 each, or close to 2. 1.5, somewhere in there. 1.5, perfect. Let's round that up a little bit. While we're waiting, I will do up another one, get it the same. 1.4, oh, pretty close. 1.5, perfect. So I got 2 1.5 ounce balls here. You know, come to think of it, I have to turn on the stove to cook the egg. So probably what I'm going to do is cook these in the pan instead. I'll waste less parchment rounds that way too. So I'm only need 2 to crush these up. Alright. Get this out of the way. You can do this in the air fryer, but you know, this will show you the diversity you can use. You're not stuck with just an air fryer. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to turn this heater on. I'm going to turn it on high initially for that. Push this down flat. Kind of close this, not go down all the way, just push it down. This is a technique I saw from Mr. Jack. Now these will shrink up a little bit afterwards. You'll see the parchment paper start to kind of curl in from the dough. So that's okay. So we got that one done. I'm going to just stick that in the pan for now. Just so I can get the next one crushed out, rather than waste something else here. See, those are curling out as well, and I got that in the pan. I'm pretty sure what I want to do actually is I should have did one thing first. I'm going to remake this one, to be honest with you, because I want to grease up that pan good. here. I'm making a mess. I guess I'm gonna grab another parchment paper. These are a little thin, so I'm gonna add another ½ ounce, I think. Yes, I know. I change on the fly. Sue me. These are very filling, by the way, if you haven't heard me say that before. This is kind of a recap from last week. If you make these too thin, they'll kind of crack away. So that looks good. Pull that off to the side. Let me get about 2 ounces for the next one. That's about 2 ounces. Not many people on this morning. It's probably real early for you, Kurt. What time is it? It's 9:43, so it's... Oh, but you're in Texas, that's right. So it's only a couple hours there difference. I'm going to actually just throw these in the oven. It'll make my life easier and more work. Let's get these out of the way. Let's get this out of the way. Still got plenty of dough for a couple more breakfasts here. Turn the stove off right now. I'm getting ahead of myself. Got to see that the pressure cooker did come up to pressure. It's got, if you can see it, it's 18 minutes on the clock for the first set of ribs. Plus I'll have to have the cool down time. Here is that new sausage I told you about. After I use these, I'm going to freeze the rest, so I'll make a few of those. I don't need any parchment paper for this. I've got the bacon here. I'll probably cut these in half to make my life easier. Now, because they'll be lighter, they're going to fly around in the air fryer. Keep that in mind. All right, let's put this to the back. Used the air fryer last night. I haven't cleaned it out. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Same type of foods here. Bacon takes about 4 to 6 minutes depending in the air fryer if it's preheated or not. Some of this bacon is going to overlap. That's not a problem because I'll be probably checking it every couple minutes. Air fryer. I'll leave it at 370. We'll check it in 4 minutes. Again, I made the dough a little bit bigger than I had to, and that's not a big deal. We use this kind of saran wrap. This is the Costco brand actually, but it's got that built-in cutter here. This thing's awesome. You don't have to fight with it. Just flick it across. It cuts the saran wrap. Get over your food easier. Fat there. Let's see that. You know, since we're doing that in the air fryer, why don't we do some sausages in the pan here? Oh, you're only an hour behind? For some reason I thought you were too. Fathead dough, it depends. There's two versions I've been making. One is with cream cheese and one is without cream cheese. The one with cream cheese reminds me of a McDonald's biscuit. I'm not a big fan of the McDonald's biscuits, but you know, for what it is, it's okay. This version I have here is without the cream cheese, and it doesn't really taste like anything. There's a lot of cheese content in there, you know, from the mozzarella. I'm gonna make, what do I got here? 8 of them. I'll probably have a few of them in my sandwich, and then whoever else wants some here. And this has to go in the freezer. What I'm going to do is stick it in the fridge as is for now, and then I'm going to wrap them up individually, maybe 3 to cheap sandwich bags, and I'll put them in the freezer. My hands are clean. Well, they're dirty with, you can actually see the natural casing on these. I'm going to throw some, this is bacon fat. I'm going to throw some in there with the sausages. I know they have their own grease, but they're not as greasy as bacon. This will help with this, a little bit of sticking. I'll keep it from sticking. And who doesn't like bacon? I think about that BLT you made on air. Every once in a while, Kirby, you made recently in one of your videos. I was looking at a keto version of that the other day that I might work on. Well, I will work on it. Whether or not it gets the video, I don't know. Yesterday, I spent the whole half of my day doing setting up new out of my own new home automation, new switches and everything. The old X10 stuff, and time for an upgrade. Removing the bread. Sorry for that background noise, my phone was ringing. Remove the bread in that recipe, everything else is keto. Yeah, so some people were building a braided bacon mat, if you will, cooking it, not completely, and then we'll put the ingredients inside and roll it up and do it that way. Since these are not pre-cooked at all, like your Jimmy Dean's, it's going to take a while. There's the bacon. See that? It's already shrunk up. Get this back in for a few minutes. Okay, I'm gonna flip my dough. You might not be able to see it. It's nice and crisp already. Just for another minute. I don't know if you were able to see that too well or not. But here we got our sausages. And probably what I'm going to do is after these, I might cook them in the air fryer and brown them up.
He's in the middle of something saying with a message.
One of them. See one of the breads right there. There's the other. Hot, hot, hot. They're having a big sale right now anyway. Let's see. Bread. Move the bread now. Yeah. That will work for a cheese flat that's fryer baked. Yep. That's another one. Believe it or not, that's one of the other recipes I was looking at. Bacon. That bacon looks pretty good. I'm going to cook it a little bit longer. I want a little extra crisp in there, but you see it all kind of filled up. So I'm going to throw in now some of these sausages in here, and then I'll finish them to brown up in here. They're all pork products, so I'm good. Okay, and I'm going to cook my egg in here next. Get this in here, and I'm doing this to seal the bottom of this piece here. Just having an egg, I would put some salt and pepper on at this point, but there's going to be plenty of salt and pepper on here. Simply from the, well, salt anyway, from the bacon. Alright, so let's get a plate, let's get a napkin, and let's get some of that bacon out of there. Push this aside. You see the bacon. Some will argue that I should have waited to put the sausage in there, but I'm not worried about it. Here we go. back in the oven. Add some time on there. Gonna pump up the temperature to 400 over there. Now for the egg, I don't know, I didn't spray the circle because of I didn't already had plenty of grease, so this looks like it's about time to flip. But because I didn't use olive oil, it's just got the fat, it might stick a little, so I'm gonna do this. That's not a fault of the ring, I should say. Give me 1 second here. Just emptying some of the grease out of there so it doesn't smoke up. Okay. Oh, terrible flip. This is not a very good pan, by the way. Some of that is from the other is my egg. Some people don't like it this dark. I like to have some golden brown. I don't like it too white. There we go. Shut off the stove. We got our bread. There are maybe 5 or 6 people on. If you're there, say hello. This is that cheesy bread. This is also good, Kirby, to make crackers. That tasted just like a cracker. Some people will sprinkle on like Italian seasoning or something on here. Some provolone cheese here. I'll set that right on top. It's about the perfect size. Piece for me. Pressure cooker has 3 minutes left. I'm building this upside down. It's my sandwich. My hands are clean. I'm not worried about touching it with my hands. Got some bacon here, but I'm going to wait for the sausage. The sausages look pretty good right now. Going to cook them a little longer. And you can see, I'll move the camera close a little bit. Got 2 minutes, and then we're not going to touch the release. We'll do I believe they refer to it as a natural release. We'll let it go 10 minutes, and then I'll throw the other ribs in. We'll have to empty out all the fluid out of there, and then we pop it up. So this looks nice. I guess I could put this on my plate, can't I? Move that one over. Taste a piece of bacon, right? Good bacon. And that sausage is done. I'm just gonna flick it off into the pan. The stove is off, but there's bacon fat there, so. Okay, so it's a dry dough. Yeah, it's basically mozzarella cheese, cream cheese. You heat it up till it melts. You stir it up. Then you add in some, what do you call it, almond flour, which, as we know, it's not really almonds. I mean, not really flour. They just give it that name. Okay. So I got these sausages here. What I'm gonna do to make my life easier, I think I'll just cut this in half. Of course, it's too hot to handle. My tender hands. There we go. We'll cut another one and we'll deal with that wanting to roly-poly off. There we go. They're pretty hot, that's why I don't want to handle them. But, there we go. Let's get some bacon on there. And since I'm doing live, I can't do a pretty picture here. Just gonna do what the camera wants. I got some extra bacon here. Yeah, Kirby, it doesn't taste anything like pizza dough. Like I'll make a small pizza or something, but your brain can play varying amount of tricks on you. You know, you see the pizza, you eat it. It's not the best tasting dough compared to real pizza dough, but it's dough, and it plays head games with you. So usually you're okay with it at that point. Donna, there's some sausages here if you want some.
Talking about your pizza dough.
Yeah.
If it's really crispy, it's even better.
Get yourself a fork. I forgot. I tossed the spatula in there. So, I want to cut it.
I was going to use it in a second.
I left it on your plate. Go ahead. Donna's stealing some turkey here. I need some sausage here. Okay. If you look at the pressure cooker, it says LO3. That means it finished cooking 3 minutes ago. That's the settle down period. I'm going to cancel it because it's on keep warm. So I'm going to set my timer for 7 minutes because it's already waited 3. And that way, when that hits, I'll do the quick release. I was like, where's my other piece of bread? I could have cooked this probably a little less, but this is perfect for pizza. Oh yeah. I don't think I can pick this up and show you how I'm eating it. It's just too big. Well, that's good. See if you can do that. Bacon, egg, sausage, and cheese. It's cooked. I gotta get the pan out of the way. So you bring up a good point where you say flatbread sandwich. The oddball pan near us has what they call a skinny bagel, which this is pretty much it. It's basically a really thin bagel with the bagel seeds and stuff like that on it, and they cut that in half. So it's their skinny bagel, you know, supposedly less, you know, carbs and stuff, but in reality it's not. This, on the other hand, there's probably like 5 carbs in this piece of bread, and these 2 pieces of bread. So it's not something you would want to eat all the time, but once in a while, like anything. I'll be right back on. Yeah, sure, okay. We are 4 minutes down from doing the release here. Take a bit of my sandwich out. That's good. Now, it doesn't have the texture of bread or the taste, but this is like a well toasted bun. There are a couple of recipes out there that use almond flour and coconut flour, and people do it in a bread maker, and it's very specific how you have to prep it. And I've seen that bread, and it looks amazingly just like a big loaf of bread. Need to get that stove cooled down because I'm going to need to use it in a little bit. So, wipe down the stove, get it ready. Normally I would throw this pan in the oven just to get it out of the way. Unfortunately, I need to finish off the ribs in there. I got a lot of sausage in that bite. That was good. So it's Gianelli sausage at BJ's. Not the sweet Italian big sausage or the hot. It's just the breakfast links. They're not sweet Italian. Two and a half minutes to go, and then I'll show you the quick release. Because again, we did the 10-minute natural release. To do a full natural, it depends, it varies in time. When it's finished, it just takes a while. As soon as that pressure, you know, reduces, the safety valve will pop down. And while I'm talking about these things, I'll talk about it in a video, but my Breville. Some people have mentioned this issue, where you go down with the handle, you go back up, and it sticks. Mine did that twice last week. It stuck here and I had to kind of open it and close it. These have a 2-year warranty on it. I contacted Breville and I have 2 choices. I can ship this back. They sent me a prepaid FedEx envelope and they'll replace it. Or I can prepay like a holder's fee of like $156. They'll ship me the replacement. I put this in the box and ship it back, and then they'll refund me the money once they get it. Now, I normally never throw away a box and packaging for anything that has a warranty still on it, because for things like this. Unfortunately, that was one of the things I tossed because it was a big box, and now I have 2 choices. Wait to find a box that I could put this in, try to pack it well, or pay the $156, get the replacement first, and then ship the old one back, and then get the refund. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, but just wanted you to be aware. It's without its flaws. I asked Breville if that was a common issue. I've heard it. They said we've only had a few instances, which is probably a lie, because I've heard at least 5-6 instances of that just in the cooking groups. However, they mentioned a spring issue. So I don't know if the spring was inferior, maybe a poor quality, or not enough tension, that it's loosening up, and it's probably like an elbow joint in here or something. And the spring isn't powerful enough to pull the kickback of that. So that's probably what the deal is. But they said they would send me a new one. Now they say new, but the question is it new or refurb? That's going to be a question. So the GoWISE oven is going to be here for a period of time. There's nothing wrong with this. It still works, but it's in warranty, 2-year warranty. So why not have it taken care of? So any of you who have this, I see other people, they worry, not a big deal. Okay, let's come over here. And we have this sealed right now. And if you're worried about getting burnt, the pressure cooker comes with this, and this actually fits right in there, and you can release it. And that's going to keep hissing until that valve goes down and all the pressure is released, and that's when you know it is safe to do it. Now, in the past, I've also lifted this up, and that helps it vent quicker. So, just so you know, the other option is to let it go longer. And it's a constant rate right now, which tells me there's still a lot of pressure. So I'm going to let that go for a bit, and then I'll swap out for the next set of ribs. Let's get this back on the charger. I do have a giveaway planned. It's something I can't mention on Facebook, otherwise Facebook will cancel my account. I'm giving away some of these the Gotham steel crisper tray. I'm going to try to give away 2. I definitely given away 1 plus something else. And I really want to give something away for an air fryer because that's the majority of my base. But these were available, so that's what I did. So I'll see what I can do about getting something away for hotel coffee. Yeah, the general consensus with that kind of thing. So I'll see what I can find to give away. But I'll have an official video kicking that off. You have to like, subscribe, share, and say you want to win or something like that. Because if you don't do all that, you're not eligible. Just like last time. I don't know if you've ever shown that Ninja coffee bar. I thought you had a Keurig or something, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's something new. I don't remember. Of course, I can't find my glass of water. Oh, there it is. Okay, I think we're about ready for that peg to pop. Remember, this is hot, so sometimes it sticks a little bit, so you gotta tap, see that? You tap the top, and it went down. Now, there could still be there's still some pressure, this heat, so again, what you wanna do is you're gonna turn this. And one thing I never realized, and I've mentioned this a couple when I first got it, I didn't realize this actually holds the lid. So when you pull this off, I'll let that drip off, and you can see, you just kind of hold that there. Now, I'm gonna need to move this because I need to be able to pull them out. So give me a second to set up. I'm also gonna do broil here, get that started, and I'll have to take the food out of the oven that I sat in there. As we see right here, I'll find a spot for that. Okay, So this I'm gonna sit in the back corner here because this oven is still hot here, but I can sit the pan here. Now these I'll probably do, I'm gonna do cook them in 2 separate pans because what I don't want to happen is cross-contamination for the barbecue sauce. So I got my tin foil. Place that in there. And now I need to get a couple of tongs to pull out a couple of sets of those ribs. So, normally I have a wider view so you can see this, but there that is, because these will fall apart on you. So I'm going to lift that up. In here. And take out this inner one. Put that right there. And you can see how that works out. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is grab some of my sauce. I don't have any regular barbecue sauce. I haven't been buying anymore because the keto, you know, it's not keto friendly. But this is honey barbecue sauce and this is really good. So get some on there. Brush this on. Slab it on nicely here. Make sure you get all those nooks and crannies here. Don't skimp. See if I have yet another set of tongs here. I do. I don't want to contaminate tongs. That would not be good. Alright, that's good. I'll keep this set of tongs separate. And I'll bring a bottle of that Sweet Baby Ray's for people who want extra. I'm also going to make some with wing sauce, because that'll be keto friendly. And once that oven heats up, I'll throw this in. When I do it in the Breville, it's a smaller oven, so it heats up faster and it can cook faster. So usually it's like 3 minutes aside, but this is in the regular broiler, so it's gonna take longer. So I'll start it out at 5 minutes and then we'll see. But right now, this looks good. So I'm gonna stick this in the oven. Timer for 5 minutes. And we got the other one, so let me grab another pan here. Sorry for that loud noise. Go. These are the tongs for everything that hasn't been flavored. Get it in the pan, and then I'll wrap these all up separately and label the bags, and then when we're ready, I'll just reheat them a little bit. So there we go. Those are more there, and I gotta find my red hot find it. I don't remember where I put it. I thought I left it out. Oh, it's right in front of me. So I got this Red Hot wing. Usually I buy the regular stuff and then I make my own wing sauce, but I bought this by accident really. So I'm gonna now pour this on. Let me shake it up a little bit just in case. Okay, a little more here. Good thing I got another bottle. Okay.
It's right there on the bottom.
Got a new bottle. I'm gonna wait for the 5-minute mark before I flip those ribs inside. Rinse off these tongs. Oh, the bone fell right off the bone. Oh, I tore off some of that tin foil, unfortunately. Alright, there we go. Wings, look at these bones are coming off. Shake up some of this Red Hot. Oop, let's get a little cap there. Let's get that on here. And there'll be another sauce there too. People, that's why I'm not coating a couple of them, because people may want their own type of sauce. And in a second, I'm going to check those other ribs. As soon as I pop these in, I'll take those out. Here we go. I think we're good there. Okay, it's about a minute left on the timer. Let's take a look. Okay, that looks good to come out. Let me get this plug back in so I don't have a bad dead battery on my hand. All right, so I got to do a swap here. Find a mitt. So we'll get this in the oven. Take this out. You can see that looks very nice. This has a spring pan. It will, well, the wire frame, it'll pop like just like that when it starts to cool down. So I need to find my tongs. Reset my 5-minute timer so I don't forget. I'm going to flip this and rebaste it. Actually, that one looks like the sauce is still plentiful. And this is sticking a little bit, so let's grab it from the other side. Yeah, you know what? This is good. I'll just maybe put a little bit more on there. I would really like to test one of these, but I'm going to be good. These barbecue ones. Okay, so I'm going to stick that now back in the oven. hot, so let's get that in. And so now you see all that liquid down in there? There's about 2 cups of liquid in there, and we started out with 1. So first thing I have to do is dump that all out. Let's see if I can't, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, to be honest with you. Probably need to grab that oven mitt and see if I can't grab this out, and I'll just dump that. Hopefully without making too much of a mess. I need another oven mitt. I'll be right back. To flip that around inside because there's actually a bone in here that came off. Now I gotta put a cup of liquid in there again.
Do we have any cottage cheese?
Why would we have cottage
I didn't know if you were using something.
cheese? All right, let's get a cup of water in there. We don't. Now you'll see how I lay these out. So you're seeing me do this all in reverse order. So I'm going to get one of the rack of ribs. I'm going to put the fat end down on one and the opposite on the other. So this is all part of one. Now this is not the fatter part, so it's going to tend to want to fall into the base. So we got to get the second set in there. There we go. That's how we get our 2 slabs in there. So let's get this moving. And the nice thing is this is already partially heated up. And, sorry, someone just commented I saw turning on phone and TV, turning in on phone and TV. Hey Juliana, top of the morning to you as well. So I got the top, gonna put that on. There we go. It's kind of foolproof. Now we gotta make sure we put this to the sealing position. Now some of them are opposite. Some of the forward is sealing, depends on the model, and the valve is down. But we're gonna hit the pressure cooker button, and it's defaulting to 30 minutes, and that's what I do, 30 minutes for 2 slabs of St. Louis. For a single slab of baby back, I do 18 minutes. I've never done a single slab of St. Louis because that's the way they come in. So that's going to take probably 10-15 minutes to come to pressure. It's going to cook to 30, and then we'll release. Now the good thing about this is you've now seen from the end to the beginning. You know, you saw the second half and then the first half. Oh, I saw another text just pop up. I'll have to take a look at what that said. Are those ribs for lunch? So here we do Sunday dinner at around 2 o'clock. So that's what that's for. So let's take out the barbecue ribs. I gotta find my, oh my God, where is it? My hand mitts, I don't know where the heck I put them down. I gotta find them quick though. I'll have to use these. Okay, and there are those. I'm gonna let those sit in there another minute. I am taking out the, this is the hot wing ones. You see how this pan's twisted? In a couple of seconds, it's gonna snap back into shape and it'll scare the crap out of you. The real problem with this is when you have juices in there and that snaps, it can actually cause you a problem with splashback. Let's get a little more. Probably shouldn't have doused both sides when I put it in, because this is a much thinner sauce, so it kind of has a tendency to just roll off. And that sauce I could just taste, because I can have this. So again, this is the wing sauce. The other one is the Sweet Baby Ray's Honey Barbecue. So like I said, if I had this in the Breville, I could fit one of these sets in the Breville. It would have done this in 3 minutes per side. In the oven, it's a bit longer. So let's just get this back in. Oh yeah, look at that. I'd be tempted to cheat for once and have one of those bad boys. So when these cool down, I'll cut them up and then wrap them up for this afternoon. I can see my wife staring. She apparently wants some. But, nope, not today. Not now.
I thought you needed a tester.
Yeah, I need a tester, like a hole in my head.
I thought I heard you say it's on the test.
No, I said no such thing. So I'll bring this barbecue sauce, the Sweet Baby Ray's Honey Barbecue, with me. And I gotta set the timer for the wings I just put back in there. And I put the hand mitts down. I don't know where though.
Were you looking for?
The hand mitts. I had a couple and I put them down and I don't remember where I put them down. No, that's not them. Hopefully they're not in the oven, right? So those look, there's a close look at that. Those look awesome. I remember the first time I had ribs, it was a guy I worked with, Bob. He threw a barbecue. That was the first time I had them. This goes back to, he passed away, so 20 years ago maybe. That was the first time I had them, and they were amazing. And then I never had them again until 15 years ago, I placed Fireflies near my house. Didn't care much for them. But now that I've made them like this, they taste good. And the sauce is part of it too. So, so these are St. Louis ribs, pork, as far as I know. Yeah, it's all that. I'll tell you, I want to have one, and I would be willing to break the diet just to have one, but I'm going to be good about it. So I'm going to do one slab. This is one slab with this, with the honey barbecue, one with the wing sauce, and then the other 2 racks are going to be plain for people who ever want to do what they want. My brother was saying, just leave them all plain, let people do what they want, but my mother really enjoys it with the barbecue sauce, so I'm making these for her. And the wing sauce ones I'll have, as well as maybe a couple other, and then there's 2 full slabs of nothing that people can do what they want with it. So I think it was you, Kirby, who was telling me, you were explaining the rack ribs on your one of your videos about where they come off of what parts of the bodies, you know. Oh, forgot about my sandwich, by the way. So I'm gonna have a little bit more of that. It's so good. So, I'm saying this now, I probably should have said at the beginning. If you watch the second half of this video first, you would see me putting the ribs in the pressure cooker. And the first half, you would see me taking them out. But I had already started cooking 2 of the racks and let those get going, so you didn't have to sit through an hour and a half of this. Because right now we're at an hour and 10. That's the longest live I've done. They always end up finishing in an hour. If you have any questions, you know, ask away. I'm not a professional rib cooker. At the beginning of this, you saw me make my, if you were here, you saw me make my keto sandwich. breakfast sandwich with sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese on the fathead dough. I like the one with the cream cheese better, I have to say. This one tends to crisp up and harden more, so I want to do the other one again. I'm going to make some slight adjustments. It's really simple. It's in my first recipe, so if you look for my first keto sandwich, it's basically a cup and a half of mozzarella, and it goes by weight, but I'm just generalizing. A cup and a half of mozzarella, 4 ounces of cream cheese, I think, and then once you get that stirred up and uniform, you throw in like, I think it was 2 cups of almond flour, and then I throw in like a tablespoon or so of baking soda to help it rise a little bit, and an egg. Don't put the egg right on top of the hot cheese because you're microwaving it to mix it up, because then it'll cook, and you just mix that up, and then I cut it up from there. I've made pizzas, breads, wraps, taquitos, although the taquitos ended up melting out flat a little bit. I should have pre-cooked them a little bit. Those are pork. Juliana, yeah, Maria, I like to think of cooking ribs a science of cooking. Yeah, and it is. I forget his channel name. It's Rich's Barbecue. Big guy. He's but he does some rib competition stuff, and that's when I started looking at cooking ribs again back in the day. Rich's River or something barbecue or something. Kirby, you've probably heard of him, I'm guessing. I heard of him through Christy from Christy's cooking channel. But this is how I cook ribs. It's a lot cheaper this way. If I went to Fireflies, which the one near me closed now, there's another one open farther away, but you're paying $15 for just like a half a slab, and I paid $15 for 2 slabs, for full slabs. Granted, you gotta cook it and put barbecue sauce. Oh, excuse me, but they look and taste amazing. So, yeah, I figured you would, Kirby. Again, Kirby's the cook here. Visit his channel if you haven't. As always, I appreciate you all stopping by. I don't expect this video to get a lot of traffic, but that's okay. But if you like what you saw here, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you know when I put out a new video. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Unplug the air fryer, and I'll be unplugging the crock pot in about 45 minutes. Have a good one. Thanks. Thank you, Kirby. Thank you, Juliana. I'm just a guy with an air fryer. I'm a guy with like 7 of them. But Kirby's an amazing cook, so please check him out as well. Thanks, Kirby, for stopping by. I appreciate it. I think I got it. It was just Juliana and Kirby talk today. Oh, cooking with CJ. Sorry, CJ. I missed you there. I must have missed it during my rambling, and I apologize. So thank you for stopping by. We'll see you.